that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's a struggle. Yeah. So there are strategies everywhere from £50 a week up to £100 million pounds, and they're different. Right? They range differently from everyone, but and from country to country, to be fair. Different countries have different tax laws, so different vehicles. But from your point of view, at the sort of normal end, I'm not going to call it the low end because I'm in that boat as well. It's as tax efficient as you can get it. That's where you start. You use all the tax efficiencies, and then you step up into different things.
Welcome back to the show. It's your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and we're having a very important discussion on what exactly we're doing or where exactly we are with regard to our fight against COVID-19. All right, now obviously this is an important conversation to be having because COVID-19 has basically been around for the longest time, right? And even though it's been around for the longest time, some of us are still struggling to adjust to the way things have changed. We're still struggling to come to terms with how different things are in comparison to how it used to be, especially with regard to how exactly things changed. All right, so that is what we're going to be talking about. All right, but before we actually head into the conversation, I want to very quickly talk to you about breast cancer. But before we head back into that conversation, I want to quickly remind you that you can in fact be a part of the show. All right, all you need to do is just text me or call me on 078 52473 473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions. Let me know what you're thinking, and let me know how you feel about our fight against COVID-19. What are we not doing? Do we need to do more? Is it enough what we're doing? All right. So make sure to share all of that with me as well. And actually, don't forget to go like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and essentially make sure that you're always informed and updated about the very latest. All right, because you can subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, and you can actually make sure that you're always updated about everything that we talk about. Okay, and now before we actually head into the conversation, I want to very quickly remind you that our app is available for download as well. All you need to do is just head on over to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, download the app, just type in Relaks Radio on the search bar and look for the app, and that way you can actually listen in when you're doing whatever it is you're doing, when you're doing say when you're going to the supermarket, or when you're going to work or whatever. You need to make sure that you are always updated with the latest news. All right, and the best way for you to do that is by getting our app, because we're always talking about the very latest that happens all over the world. So what better way is there for you than to actually do that? Now make sure to do that. All right, and now let's actually head into our conversation, because we're going to talk a little bit about, breast cancer. We're going to talk a little bit about how breast cancer could be possibly treated with aspirin, because aspirin happens to be found, or they've realized that aspirin actually has a lot of health benefits, has a lot of, features with regard to helping fight other parts of, especially if your cancer has spread to the rest of your body, it helps with fighting all of that. All right, now the reason this is so important, or the reason it's life-changing, is because so many women here in the United Kingdom, and also men, suffer from breast cancer. Breast cancer is one of the most commonly found cancers here in the United Kingdom, and it's in fact something that a lot of people suffer from. All right, so to make sure that you're always informed and to make sure that you're always updated on all of this, we're here to share that conversation with you. Now, like I said, there are about 8,000 women who are diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer in the United Kingdom each year. And this is just what the charity said. All right, and basically how exactly aspirin is going to work is it's anti-inflammatory, right? Which means that it could actually increase, or rather it could hold the key to increasing the effect effectiveness of immunotherapy when you use it at the same time. All right, because what aspirin essentially does is that it stops the tumors, the cancerous tumors inside your body, from emitting these certain kind of chemicals that actually help weaken your immune system. They weaken your immune system, and when you give it with aspirin, how that basically works is that aspirin actually makes sure that your immune system, or rather it makes sure that your cancerous tumors are in fact much more sensitive to immunotherapy. All right, and that way you're going to potentially destroy those cancerous tumors, and you're also going to make sure that these women have some hope, have some positivity, have some hope, have some hope in terms of life, have some positivity, and some form of positivity to move on with their life, right? So that's absolutely amazing news, because we know that there are so many women out there who are suffering from breast cancer. All right, and to make sure that they're okay, to make sure that they have some hope, some positivity, some form of joy to get on with their day, because once you're diagnosed with cancer, it's absolutely terrifying, right? And I mean, I can't even begin to understand what it feels like to get the diagnosis and feel like you have a death sentence passed upon you, right? So that is just what it feels like. Now make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to head into a small break, and after that we will be back to discuss more of this. But obviously until then, make sure that you stay tuned.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh. So that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, got me thinking. You want to stand out. Why do you want to stand out though so much, especially with these kind of shirts when you're riding? There must be a purpose behind it, right?
Well, when you say a purpose, Nick, what I do, I wear the shirts, mainly one, because they're nice and bright, so they make me visible, especially if I'm riding on the road.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's very important, right? Because you want cars, yeah.
Very important. And also, like, people see me in like calves, and perhaps I shouldn't be saying this on here, I suppose, but in the bar afterwards.
All right.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh. So that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, you look like a guy who would do.
You know me too well. You know me too well, Nick.
Welcome back to the show. It's your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio, and I'm super excited to be here on this beautiful Thursday morning. Now we're getting very close to the final hour of the show, but don't worry, because I will be here all the way until 9 a.m. and Hiba will be here with you as well, and we will share our thoughts and our opinions with you with regard to all of these things that happen here in the United Kingdom. All right, so don't be shy to share your thoughts with us. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts with us either. All you need to do is just text me or call me on 078-52-473-473. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you feel about everything that is happening in the world. All right. And while we're at it, I also want to very quickly remind you that you can in fact be a part of the show. Don't forget to, actually download an app, because that way you can actually make sure you're listening in from anywhere in the world at any time of the day, doing whatever it is that you're doing, right? And don't forget to go download that app, which is available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. And also to go like us on our socials, right? You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, because that way that will actually help you stay informed and updated about everything that we are going to be talking about. All right. Now, let's actually very quickly talk about our fight against COVID-19. Now, this is a fight that we have been going through with for the past 2 years, right? And that's just the truth of it, right? Because COVID-19, it started in 2019 December, and ever since then our lives have completely changed, right? These boundaries that existed as work, our work life and our personal life, those have basically disappeared. They've disintegrated. That line is so blurry right now. And also, we've had to get used to doing things online, working online, meeting our friends and family online, not being able to hug people, not being able to connect with people the same way you used to, simply because of the pandemic. All right. And now, before we actually head into our conversation, I just wanted to very quickly tell you how much our lives changed, especially during the pandemic. All right. Now, recently, on it wasn't recently, but some time back, we obviously started the vaccination drives, and with that, we basically had a lot of people getting vaccinated. And in a certain way, it was some form of positivity. It was some form of positive news for us to actually go forward and move on with our lives, right? And now, along with that, we basically have Britain's health regulator that has approved the Moderna COVID vaccine for children aged 12 to 17 weeks after the Pfizer jab was approved for that same group, right? So essentially, what that means is that children aged 12 to 17 can actually now get vaccinated as well. Only if the JCVI goes ahead and gives the green light for them to get vaccinated, that is when this will happen. And what that means is that now we're very close to vaccinating our entire population, all right? Because so far we've managed to vaccinate everyone above 30, and we're working on everyone under 30, because there has been vaccine hesitancy with regard to children who are under or rather people who are under the age of 30 as well. So this is absolutely positive news, because we're going to have now, we've definitely been very successful in our vaccination drives, right? And also, while saying that, something I need to tell you about is how much school lives changed, right? So many children had to learn online. Online learning was like the newest trend of 2021 or 2020 as well, right? And the truth is, it definitely wasn't as fun as going to school. But I mean, sure, you got to hang out at home and sort of chill and not really stress out about exams and whatnot. However, you can only feel that way for a certain time period, right? You can't feel like that forever. And now people are finally getting fed up of online learning, and that is why teachers, administrative staff, support staff, and other people who are a part of the education system have actually written to Education Secretary Gavin Williamson, asking him to make sure that there is better air ventilation, and that there is in fact devices to monitor airflow within these schools, right? And this is essentially to make sure that when children come to school, they're safe, and that when children come to school, they can actually be much safer and protect themselves from COVID-19, right? And that way they can actually make sure that online that learning doesn't get disrupted, and children can continue going to school the same way they used to, because there has been loads and loads of evidence that has been found, that the scientists and researchers have come across, that essentially say, look, you know what, the most that the time that COVID-19 spreads the most is in fact when you're in an enclosed space, and it is through airborne particles, right? So that is important to keep in mind, and that is what I have to tell you about our fight against COVID-19. All right, now make sure you stay tuned, because I will be back in a few minutes with Hiba to discuss climate change, why the climate crisis is something that needs to be taught about even in medical schools. But until then, make sure you